The signal came like a ripple through the black, faint, coded, impossible to ignore. Across light years of silence, the distress call reached ears it was never meant to find. Alien fleets paused, councils faltered, and automated systems whirred, struggling to interpret the pulse. Somewhere in the void, a species long underestimated was listening. Humanity. For centuries, other civilizations had catalogued humans as reckless, fragile, insignificant. A planet-bound species clinging to survival. But hidden beneath that veil was something the galaxy had forgotten: resilience forged in chaos, ingenuity sharpened by countless disasters, and an instinctive understanding of survival that no algorithm could predict. The signal found the right species, the species that had always endured. From orbital yards and hidden dry docks, the engines of old warships hummed to life. Fleets that had slept for decades stirred, hulls reinforced, weapons systems tested, navigational arrays recalibrated. It was not a call to fight, not yet. It was a call to act, and humans did what they had always done. They answered. The first ship slipped into the black, engines glowing a faint blue against the void. They moved with quiet precision, a predator waking after a long slumber, aware of every calculation, every assumption, every weakness around them. Alien eyes turned, scanners probed, and nothing prepared them for what they saw. This was not a reconnaissance mission. It was a declaration. The deadliest species did not boast. They did not demand. They moved. A fleet of predators in steel and fire, disciplined, patient, and aware of their supremacy. Even before the first encounter, the galaxy understood the truth it had always denied. Humans were not just survivors. Humans were hunters. Every admiral, every officer, every strategist in the sector felt the unease ripple across their systems. The fleet advanced silently, threading through patrols, passing colonies, a silent tide that could not be diverted. It carried not rage, but certainty. And the galaxy realized, in that suspended heartbeat of the void, that a reckoning had arrived. The fleet advanced with a deadly grace, engines humming in perfect harmony, wings and frigates aligned in formations that mirrored predators stalking their prey. Every movement was calculated, precise, and deliberate. The humans did not rush. They did not announce their presence. Yet every vessel they passed seemed to shrink in significance, every alien sensor overwhelmed by their silent authority. Coalition fleets scrambled to respond. Patrols surged forward, drones launched, and targeting arrays flared to life. Yet the humans anticipated every action, shifting their positions before calculations could complete, warping energy around them, bending space subtly yet unmistakably. Sensors returned fragments, scrambled signals, and distorted images. The predators did not fire. They did not need to. Their presence alone disrupted fleets, erased confidence, and instilled fear in a species that had long relied on numerical superiority. From distant command bridges, alien officers whispered in disbelief. A single human vessel carried systems beyond their comprehension. The lead warship, larger than most cruisers, moved like a living organism, its engines pulsing softly, shields bending light in impossible patterns, hull angular and battle-worn yet perfect. Its very existence challenged every assumption they had made about technology, strategy, and the limits of survival. The fleet advanced further, threading through patrols and orbital stations with surgical precision. Fighter wings wove elegant arcs, frigates flanked capital ships, and carriers held protective spirals, each motion an unspoken assertion of dominance. Observers realized, with a sinking certainty, that humanity had arrived not to negotiate or beg, but to enforce a new reality. Then the voice came, calm and deliberate, carrying through subspace and open channels alike. You have measured. You have calculated. And yet you hesitate. Humanity does not act recklessly. Stand down, or witness the consequence of underestimating a species that does not yield. The fleets froze. Pride warred with instinct. Calculations failed. And through it all, the Deadworlder fleet moved forward, silent, inevitable, unstoppable. The galaxy had glimpsed a species it had long misunderstood, Humanity had arrived. And the hunt had begun. The Predator fleet moved like a shadow threading through the alien armada, engines glowing softly, shields shimmering with subtle distortions. Every maneuver was precise, every formation flawless. The aliens tried to anticipate, to calculate, to trap, but every move was already accounted for. The humans flowed around them with the quiet inevitability of a tide, a force the galaxy had never truly measured. Drones sent forward vanished into ripples of warped energy. Targeting arrays scrambled themselves, and sensor readings fractured into incoherence. The lead human warship, massive and angular, cut through the void with purpose, yet without haste. Its hull reflected distant stars like shards of steel and ice, its engines pulsing with a calm authority that no threat could disturb. No weapon fired. No shield flared. And yet every alien captain understood the message. They were outmatched before a single battle had begun. A quiet pulse of light radiated from the lead ship, subtle but undeniable. The voice returned, calm, steady, carrying the weight of centuries of survival and defiance. You have measured us. You have calculated us. And yet you hesitate. Humanity does not yield. Step back, or learn the cost of underestimating the Deadworlders. The alien fleets faltered. Systems jammed, formations wavered, pride collided with instinct. The humans advanced without violence, yet every movement was a lesson in control, precision, and authority. The galaxy had witnessed it. The Deadworlder fleet was not merely a force of arms. It was a reckoning, a predator awakened, and the universe would never view humanity the same way again. The Predator fleet moved deeper into the alien sector, threading between warships and orbital stations with a precision that defied every expectation. Each human vessel acted in perfect synchrony, as if guided by a single consciousness. Aware of every calculation, every weakness, every hesitation across the alien fleets. Engines glowed faint blue, shields shimmered in complex layers, and fighters carved arcs through space like silent predators circling their prey. The aliens could only watch, powerless, their pride and strategy unraveling under the weight of human presence. From command towers and observation decks, alien officers tried to coordinate countermeasures. They launched drones, activated sensor arrays, and scrambled strike teams. Yet every attempt was anticipated, neutralized, or rendered irrelevant. Drones twisted in invisible distortions, sensor readings became fragments of static, and targeting systems overloaded before a single calculation completed. Humanity moved not with brute force, but with intelligence, with instinct, with an understanding of survival that no coalition AI could predict. The lead human warship advanced, angular and massive, its hull reflecting the distant stars and nebulae in fractured patterns. Engine cores pulsed steadily, a heartbeat in the void. Its shields bent light in ways no algorithm could fully model, creating an aura of impossible authority. Observers realized that this was not a battle fleet, it was a statement. Humanity had arrived not to conquer, not to negotiate, but to assert dominance with precision and restraint. Fighter wings swooped in coordinated spirals, carriers held protective arcs. And frigates maintained perfect flanking positions. Every motion, every shift in formation, was a lesson in discipline, patience, and unyielding purpose. The humans did not rush, yet every fleet maneuver, every attempted reposition by the aliens, faltered under the invisible weight of calculation and anticipation. Each moment the Predator fleet passed was a demonstration of mastery over space itself. Then, the voice of the human fleet echoed through subspace and open channels, calm, deliberate, unshakable. You have seen our fleet. You have measured it. And yet, you hesitate. Humanity does not act recklessly. Stand down, or experience the consequences of underestimating a species that refuses to yield. The words carried authority, not arrogance. They bore the quiet certainty of a species that had endured famine, war, and extinction attempts alike. The aliens felt it deep in their instincts. This was not a threat. It was judgment. Humanity's patience, precision, and discipline were more powerful than any weapon they possessed. Across the fleets, hesitation rippled into awe. Pride collided with fear. Calculations failed. The Predator fleet moved with serene inevitability, threading the void, threading the alien armada, threading history itself. Humanity's mastery over war, technology, and strategy was on full display, and the galaxy, for the first time, understood, the Deadworlders were hunters. And the void was theirs to command, and in that suspended heartbeat of space, every observer knew the truth: humanity had arrived, and the universe would never underestimate them again. The Predator fleet advanced with quiet inevitability, each ship moving with a confidence born from centuries of survival and relentless innovation. Engines glowed pale blue, casting a spectral light across the void, illuminating alien cruisers that paused, unsure how to respond. Every formation, every maneuver, was executed with flawless precision, a display of discipline and intellect that left observers breathless. The humans did not rush. They did not fire. They simply moved, and the galaxy recognized a force it could not yet comprehend. From distant observation decks, coalition admirals scrambled to respond. Patrols were dispatched, drones launched, and weapon systems flared to life. Yet every attempt to intercept, every calculation, every countermeasure was anticipated and rendered irrelevant. Drones vanished into ripples of warped space. Sensors overloaded. Energy signatures fractured. Even the most advanced alien algorithms failed to model the humans' subtle control over their own fleet and the surrounding void. Humanity's power lay not in brute strength, but in awareness, strategy, and mastery of the unpredictable. The lead human warship, massive and angular, moved like a living predator among the stationary alien vessels. Its hull bore scars of previous battles, yet it gleamed with meticulous maintenance, a testament to human ingenuity. Engines pulsed steadily, shields bending light in fractals that shimmered with complexity beyond the understanding of coalition scientists. The ship's presence alone was a lesson. Survival demanded foresight, resilience, and an unshakable will. Fighter wings weaved elegant arcs around capital ships, carriers held protective spirals, and frigates flanked with calculated restraint. The fleet's movements were a ballet of deadly potential, showing power without aggression, mastery without malice. Every alien vessel that tried to reposition or act found itself blocked by invisible boundaries. Controlled by human precision and anticipation. The Deadworlders did not need to fire, they controlled the battlefield with intelligence and moral authority. Then, the human voice resonated through subspace channels, calm and unyielding: you have measured. You have calculated. And yet you hesitate. Humanity does not yield. Respect the boundaries of survival. Fail, and the consequences will be absolute. The words carried centuries of history, of species-level endurance. The aliens felt the weight of human resolve pressing against their pride, against their assumptions, against the arrogance of their fleets. Even their most confident admirals faltered, unable to reconcile numerical superiority with the undeniable authority radiating from a single human fleet. Some fleets attempted maneuvers, testing the limits of human patience, but the humans anticipated each micro-adjustment. Every patrol, every formation, every strategy crumbled under a presence that combined intellect, instinct, and unrelenting discipline. The Predator fleet was not merely a force of combat, it was a statement, a demonstration of what a species could achieve when survival, intelligence, and will aligned. The lead ship slowed slightly, engines humming with controlled energy, reflecting nebula clouds and distant stars. Observers realized that humanity's power lay not in weapons, not in numbers, but in understanding, in strategy, in the certainty of purpose. Every ship in the fleet moved with awareness. Each decision calculated, each motion deliberate. The Deadworlders had arrived not to conquer, but to answer a call, and in doing so, they had reminded the galaxy what it had long ignored: humanity was a predator, and the void belonged to no one who could not endure its challenges. The alien fleets remained frozen, their pride battered, their confidence shattered. Humanity passed, silent yet omnipotent, leaving a lesson etched across the sector: intellect, discipline, and resolve were as lethal as any weapon. And in that moment, the galaxy knew the truth: it had underestimated a species that would not be tamed, every commander, every officer, every analyst understood the same terrifying certainty: the Deadworlders had arrived. The Predator fleet had spoken. The universe would never forget. The Predator fleet reached the edge of the alien coalition's central sector, engines glowing softly against the black expanse, casting pale light over countless ships frozen in awe and disbelief. Every observer, every officer, every automated system felt the weight of human presence. The warships did not fire. They did not threaten. And yet every being across the coalition understood the unspoken message: humanity's authority in the void was absolute. Resistance was no longer measured by weapons or technology, it was measured by will, and human will had no equal. The lead human warship moved deliberately, angular and immense. Its hull reflecting nebulae, distant stars, and the anxious gaze of alien admirals. Fighter wings arced gracefully, carriers maintained protective spirals, frigates flanked with surgical precision. Every ship, every formation, projected control, dominance, and silent authority. It was a demonstration not of aggression, but of mastery, a species declaring that it commanded the void not by fear, but by intellect, discipline, and unyielding purpose. The alien fleets attempted feints, shifts, and repositioning, but each move faltered. Drones disappeared into warped subspace. Weapons misfired. Sensors returned fragmented data. Every calculation, every prediction, every tactic failed against a species that had evolved through adversity and mastered adaptation to the extreme. Humanity moved like a predator among prey, patient, deliberate, in complete command of space and circumstance. Then the voice carried across the void, calm, deliberate, and unwavering: "You have observed our fleet. You have measured our presence. And yet, you hesitate. Humanity does not act recklessly. We do not yield. Stand down, respect survival, and you will endure. Challenge us, and the void itself will teach you restraint." The words echoed not as a threat, but as a certainty. They carried the weight of centuries of survival, of famine endured, wars survived, extinction narrowly avoided, and a species that refused to submit. The alien commanders felt their pride falter, their systems faltering under the authority conveyed without a single weapon discharged. The Predator fleet began its withdrawal, engines pulsing steadily, leaving the alien armada intact yet shaken, humbled by the presence of a species that had arrived not to conquer, but to answer a call. Humanity had displayed restraint, discipline, and strategic mastery, demonstrating that survival, intellect, and resolve could command more power than fleets of weapons or armies of ships. The lead ship lingered for a moment longer, a silent sentinel in the void, before slipping into the black. Fighter wings spiraled behind, carriers maintained perfect arcs, and frigates held formation, leaving the alien fleets to ponder the scale of what they had witnessed. The galaxy had seen, for the first time, that humanity was more than resilient, it was inevitable. More than clever, it was unstoppable. More than strong, it was a predator. Across every system, every planet, every command deck, the same truth settled like a shadow: the Deadworlder fleet had arrived, and the universe would never underestimate humanity again.